timer starts. I believe we are about to have the beginning of the race.
And we're off.
Okay, so we have jkoper with the vanilla sprite, Sparkover as Wario, Edgeworth as the Dragon Lord, and Game Boy as Linkwar. And we have gold. I missed the first chest.
The first chest was the Erdrick's token.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's one of the items I need, and that also means there's going to be an empty search spot somewhere. And... okay, not that terrible. Only going to take 4 damage to X.
Edge over here is deciding to save his gold in case he finds a weapon somewhere around here, which is not quite as necessary in a seed with Hurtmore start, because the hand axe isn't going to offer you a whole lot right.
Could be looking for some armors. We have Sparkover, I believe, getting a single level, but it was really good, and it also had sleep. jkoper, I think, it might triple level here. Yep,
triple level, 7 HP.
That's amazing. And Sparkover immediately finds Sharlock. jkoper's going to be the first to find a town.
As we can see, the experience is coming fast and furious already. And there's another town over here on Sparkover's screen.
Yeah, right behind Sharlock's a town. jkoper has found Garenham, which is going to be a shop that he can throw some gold at and some herbs. Oh, Edgeworth with the metal slime, but I think it might be too late to keep it here. I believe Game Boy just found a new town as well. Well, so crazy stuff happening all over the place as jkoper is going to get the chainmail. Game Boy's actually found coal.
And Sparkover finds Hawksness, which with Hurtmore could be really fun.
Game
and
Boy
Erdrick's
has armor. And Edgeworth has an early metal slime. And armor. He just found coal, so... towns quickly. I think it was east, you find Garenham. South, you find coal. I don't know what the town was behind, Sharlock, though. This is just going crazy.
The town behind Sharlock was Hawksness.
Okay, did Sparkover make it to the spike tile?
No, she saw it and walked out and death warped on the swamp. I guess she didn't think she could make it there and hurt more in time.
Well, took out that Axonite, and these stat gains are just going nuts.
It should be noted that we have not had a sub-hour finish yet in this tournament. Obviously, there's still a long way to go, but this is showing some promise. It is hard to keep up with everything going on right now.
Yep, jkoper just went to 5. Sparkover just found Garenham.
Oh, we've got Cantlin over here on Game Boy's screen.
Yep, and Edgestream getting that experience-ly, taking out an armored knight. And wow, we have quite the spell list at level 7, including the big one, the Heal More. Okay, stop me if I'm going crazy. Did jkoper just double level and gain 0 HP?
I missed it, but sounds like from chat that is indeed what's going on here. We have all the stats except for the HP, which we apparently aren't being gifted with in this seed. This may come down to who's willing to take on the Dragon Lord at 87 HP.
Could be. Unfortunately, Game Boy's gonna take a death. Trying to hit the Star Wyvern can beat it in 1 hurt more and die. Yeah, that HP is abysmal. But the agility's looking really nice, so That's going to help them get off that all-important first Hurtmore, and they have quite the adequate number of Hurtmore shots to begin.
Yeah, at this growth rate, they'll be defense breaking the Dragon Lord before they have the HP to handle him. Which, in case you were wondering, it is impossible to defense break the Dragon Lord. It would be theoretically possible, but there are stat caps, artificial stat caps on agility that would prevent that from happening.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you need something like 180 agility with max gear to do it, and agility can't get that high.
That sounds right.
And it looks like there's a red dragon on the spike tile anyways, but we know spike tile really doesn't matter, and we know that Hawks and spike tile doesn't matter. Cantland doesn't matter unless we really need the fairy flute, because we already have the token and the armor.
So at this point, we found every town but Breckenary, but we have not yet found a cave or keys.
Yeah, I think it's looking like the only way out is over that bridge that's right next to Garenham. And I don't think there's anywhere else to go, so going to get a bit linear here in the exploration. We'll see what's on the other side of that bridge with the Erdrick's armor as jkoper bites it to the Demon Knight, one of the few enemies that you can't really use the hurt more on, and Sparkover's about to find out the bad news. Yeah, I guess they were looking for a grind spot, but going to be a little bit difficult with the red dragon there at this stage. And we have a cave for Edgeworth. Over here on the eastern end of the map, as Baby Breath on the Armor Knight's going to take out Game Boy, and Edge has found Swamp South.
Wonder if he checks the spike tile right now.
Cave for Sparkover. Here Alexa just walk by. For now, may go back and check it here. And we have the jerk for Sparkover.
And Game Boy hits Breckenary, so we have found all the towns in the game 8.5 minutes in.
Where was Rimeldar at?
I take it back, we have not found Rimeldar yet.
Okay, we have some Sparkover Tetris on Edgeworth stream. Scratch that, we have found Rimeldar.
Alright, now we have found every town in the game. Still less than 9 minutes in. This is a pretty remarkable seed.
And a couple of caves for Game Boy. Game Boy finding the Staff of Rain cave. Once he gets the Silver Harp, he'll be able to just go back to that cave, talk to that guy, and trade it in. I'm expecting this to be the harp.
Well, couldn't the two of them just, like, talk to each other? You know? Oh, now Game Boy pulling out harp straps here to find some good hurt-morable enemies, hopefully.
Not that.
That's not gonna do it.
Uh-oh! Sparkover finding the big stick in Rimeldar.
Wow, this seed is something else. So at this point, they have, or she's got an attack power pretty close to 100, I think, at level 8.
Hold on, I think we have to catch our collective minds here for a moment.
I haven't gotten over the disbelief in one thing before the next thing that sends me into shock comes up.
So, all we need now are these stones of sunlight to be able to collectively be in grind and go.
Did Game Boy just find Swamp North?
No, he went through Swamp South. We've already been through the Swamp Cave.
Oh, okay. It's hard to keep up sometimes in this seat.
Edgestream being the last to learn of the Red Dragon Spike Tile, as jkoper unfortunately has not managed to find coal, so he is, unlike the other three, taking damage walking through these big swamps. And he is more than likely going to be kicking himself as he goes through Swamp Cave, which I believe this is. Yeah, Edgeworth has every spell except Return already, so... Okay, here comes the treasury for Sparkover, finding a cursed bell, which means that the flute is in one of the search spots we haven't gotten yet. No gold grind yet, we haven't seen the underside of Tantigel, and it's bound to have some chests, so we'll see if maybe the gold grind can be started that way.
Yeah, it's gotta be, at this point, the only things we haven't seen are Grave, Mountain, and Tablet, right?
That would be correct. Sparkover gonna light up, and it's Tablet.
I have to take this moment to give major props to Z-Man, our tracker, who I'm not sure I have seen a seed where the trackers had to work so hard so quickly.
Yeah, this has just been crazy. We're gonna find out what's under Tantigel. Is it gold? It's a death necklace.
Well, that could be used as a gold grind, if desired, but I have a feeling in this seed you don't want to spend enough time to grind the Silver Shield 100 gold at a time. So, probably not seeing a Silver Shield in this seed.
Yeah, for those that don't know, you can only ever get the death necklace once, and then once you get it, that particular chest turns into a 120 gold chest. So technically there is a gold grind, as jkoper has found the grave. Not sure where, but he's found it. And with no keys, he is out of there. And it looks like Edgeworth also taking the gamble. Okay, neither of them have keys. I believe it's only Sparkover with keys.
I think that's right.
So, unable to go deep just yet.
So that means we have to have the mountain cave behind Garanham here.
So yes, keys at least required for this. Stones of Sunlight, which are right there for Sparkover. Sparkover is just has to find that little cluster for the staff, and she will be in grind and go, but unfortunately, she's gonna go down here in the mountain and probably find nothing except maybe the fighter's ring.
Have we seen the jerk yet?
Jerk we saw... Yeah, Sparkover's seen the jerk. And you can see on the tracker, all the stats looking pretty decent so far, except the HP is still very lacking, so going to have to find something kind of polite on the swamp tile if we haven't seen it already.
It's wild to me, with not only is everything here, but this map seems to be really small comparatively. So there's not much exploration. Obviously, there's not much exploration left to be done. We've already seen everything.
Edgeworth going to get the Staff of Rain as Game Boy heads into the swamp cave and finds a blue dragon. But yeah, this shouldn't be too bad for Sparkover. Mountain's a fairly quick check. And hey, there's the dragon scale. Although I believe she already bought one, so just going to throw that aside and swipe at this wraith a couple of times to take it out. Okay, we have blue dragons with hurt, so kind of weak on the armor knight and the blue dragon, so interesting information to learn there. And heal.
Well, that'll be that would be a really nice grind to find a little later in the seed. Once I guess once you've got Erdrick's sword in pretty good shape there.
Now the question is, was Game Boy just fighting a random blue dragon, or was he checking the spike tile? Kind of hard to tell with no light going on.
I have found in this tournament so far that there is a remarkable number of players who like to navigate in the dark.
And Sparkover finds the ring and mountain, so the only unknown at the moment is if the fairy flute is on Hawksness or Cantlin, and at this rate, we may never even know. Large shield for Sparkover. Probably the best shield she's going to get this seed. It looks like everybody's keeping up with each other at the moment on experience. Edgestream just finding the jerk, but does not have these stones. So he will have to come back late. And Sparkover finding Swamp, and I would be very surprised if she does not go straight for the spike tile. And she sees Blue Dragon hurt. Yep, she's swinging away. In the meantime, Edgeworth about to gain level 10. Let's see what it does. 1 HP on Edgeworth as he gains 4 power, 1 agility, 10 health, and 6 magic. There's some health.
So far we have seen heal and hurt on the blue dragons. We have seen baby breath on the armored knights. So some of the potential roadblocks you're going to see in Charlock all seem to be fairly weak. I think so far when they looked briefly at the red dragon, all we saw was attacks. So at least that one might be a little bit of an issue, but everything's going really smoothly still.
And Edgestream is heading into Rimmildar now. Go and get his keys. And his sword. Oh, red dragons!
Red dragons have hurt.
Yeah, looking like a low percentage hurt, but still, that's pretty much a wasted turn with Erdrick's armor. Speaking of, jkoper, unfortunately, still missing that armor.
So at this point, how are you feeling in this seed like this, Smashy?
mean, it's all going to depend on that spike tile for the swamp cave. Is jkoper has finally found coal. I mean, it's 20-minute armor is not bad, but considering how this seed has been, that feels like an eternity for us. And I think Sparkover might be... Yep, this is going to be grind and go for Sparkover as soon as she sees bonus cave with the harp. If she sees it. Going to get taken out by the red dragon, but I would not be surprised if he comes straight back here. And yep, it looks like Sparkover's making a beeline straight back to that location, so soon she will be in grind. She'll be in complete grind and go unless suddenly it turns out the golems have something completely awful. Or, well, she has to get there first, unfortunately missing the hurt more against the Star Wyvern and going to survive on 1 health.
Not to give too many spoilers, but let's just say our racers here have not run into some of the trouble that the previous races have encountered, and it almost feels sad, although they might be disappointed to hear me say this, but to see some players that are just absolutely, at the top of the game, take on something super, super challenging, feels like this could have gone to somebody else. But man, this is exciting.
And yep, there's going to be the staff for Sparkover. So all she has to do is march all the stuff back to the jerk, and she will have the rainbow drop. Doesn't even have to look into grave at all, so bit of an advantage for her. As she gains level 10 as well. Yeah, this had the looks of maybe being ugly, and then the tracker flipped over to the spells, and it's just been pedal to the metal from there.
One of the really nice things we've seen so far is an abundance of, Sharlock level enemies with hurt more. So I'm not sure I've seen anybody actually run out of MP yet. They're going back to the castle before they can run out of anything, or end up in a town before they can run out of anything, because they have, and so they're able to just go, and not have to conserve anything, because of all the tough monsters they've got around here.
Yeah, the HP's kind of doing it to them as well. Most of these enemies, if they're surviving, they're two-shotting our heroes in return, as the Red Dragons seem to be out in fort. Sparkover going to give this one a go, see how often that hurt comes out. And Edgeworth is going to take the keys and go into Deep Grave, which we know for a fact is nothing.
To answer your question, Chief Chiba, yes, Sharlock has been found. It's very, very close to the start, too. We have seen everything in the seed, except for the fairy flute.
And we know for a fact that the fairy flute has to be either behind the coordinates or Hawk's Nest, but Sparkover under 25 minutes has the rainbow drop. I would not be surprised if she doesn't go into either town again, although she might go back into Hawk's Nest when she gains a little bit of HP to fight the red dragon there.
I imagine at this point she's going to check the Swamp Spike if we haven't seen it already, and if not, honestly, I think I could dive into Charlock to start my grind.
Curse Belt, I forget where it was. I don't know if it was in Mountain or...
I think it was in the Treasury.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, jkoper, unfortunately, having to play catch-up here, is going to get his Staff of Rain here, as Game Boy is about to pick up Erdrick's sword. Edgeworth almost all the way down, actually gained level 11. And it looks like Sparkover's going to check Charlock. So at 26 minutes, at 26 and a half minutes, Charlock is open for Sparkover. Just has a commanding lead on that race, and the first enemy is the Wizard. Not exactly susceptible to Hurtmore, but very susceptible to Erdrick's sword. And here it is. Edgeworth is going to check it, and it is another red dragon.
Yeah, so in that case, I think Sparkover's absolutely in the right place to grind. I mean, we have seen a lot of Charlock monsters out there, so it's possible that there is a desert somewhere that's going to have similar Hurtmoreable monsters like Axe Knights and Star Wyverns in desert tiles, but I'm not exactly sure what the full monster set in those would be, and if they'd be worth grinding at rather than Charlock.
Well, the first floor of Charlock is going to have the red dragon. So, unfortunately, we are 0 for 2 in Hurtmore victims in Charlock, as you cannot Hurtmore either of them. But
Yeah,
she is going to get with the sword.
Have we seen a golem in this seed yet?
We have not. So, golems are an unknown, but we have been getting some very good agility, so unless there's a golem on the final spike tile, I would imagine that they're going to be a bit of a non-factor. As Edgeworth back in Garenham with keys is going to get his Stones of Sunlight, which will put him pretty much in the grind and go. Don't know. Once he sees these stones, he does have the staff already, so I don't even know if he's going to dive. We'll have to see. Nope, he's leaving. Can't say this is a bad choice. All that he has not seen is the fighter's rings, so...
To answer DW Edit's question, Sparkover's lead on jkoper, it's hard to really judge at the moment since they're really close in experience, and even though Sparkover has a lot of the exploration, most of the monsters they've run into throughout this entire seed have been high-level, Charlock level monsters, so grinding while exploring, if she can't find a good constant spike tile and the red dragons are not consistent enough, then it may be difficult for her to find a grind spot that's significantly more efficient than just the exploration grind. So jkoper definitely has a chance at not falling too far behind while Sparkover tries to find somewhere to get some good experience.
Okay, so Edgeworth gaining return at level 12 for all the spells, along with 7 health. Sparkover quickly flashed the stat screen, and she is still under 50 health, and I think Edgeworth got a 7, which puts him just over, so HP definitely a concern.
So, Ruler, to answer your question, the Dragon Lord Spike tile might be worth looking at, except for to get there, you have to go through the rest of Charlock, and we've got red dragons infesting the top floor right now. And so, I don't think we have the agility to get away from them that frequently, and with no HP, you can't survive 2 run fails. Yeah, the agility is still not good. So, you're not going to survive 2 run fails with this HP, so I don't think it's realistic to get to the grind tile in Charlock.
It looks like Sparkover is going to utilize the Desert next to Coal as her weapon of choice to gain the experience.
Yeah, this is definitely looks like a nice zone. With the added benefit of it's got a higher encounter rate than the brick tiles in Charlock. Though you wouldn't know it to watch right now.
Yeah, Sparkover currently has about about 280 experience lead, although jkoper just wiped out most of that in an Armor Knight kit. Meanwhile, bottom race, Edgeworth's enjoying over 1,000 experience lead over Gameboy, as Gameboy is going to get down into the mountain cave, actually with all the stuff, so he might be checking for a DN, but he's just going to find the fighter's ring here. And jkoper finding the key town, so that's going to be keys and sword form.
I wonder if Gameboy is thinking about a gold grind right now, because he hasn't checked the treasury, I wouldn't think, or else he'd have the death necklace. So he may be coming in here with the intent to death warp and start a gold grind if possible.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be possible. Axe Knight's utilizing Hurt more, so dealing quite a bit of damage to Sparko.
Oh, Z-Man correcting me. He does have the death necklace. So then he must just be looking for the fighter's ring here.
That, or maybe he is planning on doing the grind. We'll have to see what he does as he finishes out this exploration. As there is the Erdrick Sword for jkoper catching up on the exploration on his end as Sparkover gains another level. And you can see it's slowly creeping up. The HP is at 56 at level 12.
If they can get it to around the 70-75 mark, they should be in pretty good shape to start grinding red dragons consistently. But at 56, with what seems to be a 25% hurt from the red dragons, or 50 at best, they're probably not still surviving back-to-back attacks. So, but as soon as they get to that 70-ish area, then the red dragon spike becomes an amazing grind, and you will start seeing experience leads rise rapidly.
Okay, here comes the treasury for jkoper. We're going to find stuff that is not gold, and eventually the death necklace. And on the bottom match, Edgeworth already in the grind, going to get kind of the bad news about Charlock here. It's just been wizards and red dragons so far. He hasn't seen the red dragons, but certainly seeing the wizards and taking them out into it.
And at this point, Edge is one more monster away from level 13.
Well, he's going to give the red dragon a go. With 113 attack power, they're certainly dealing the damage, especially with the Kaishin no Ichigeki. And he gets 4, 3, 23, and 2. So, you said it. There it goes, up to 79. That really makes those red dragons viable now.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the play, and I think Edge is probably going exactly that direction right now. Yep, walking right out of Sharlock, heading to Hawksness.
So we are about to learn the final mystery of the seed. Where is that fairy flute? And Sparkover getting the Kaishin negator. Yeah, Demon Knight's very good at dodging, so unfortunately getting her critical hit dodged as she goes to check the Swamp Spike tile and gets some disappointment. Now the question is Edge actually going to search it? Or is he too busy grinding? I think he's too busy grinding.
Well, he didn't search it yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if he never searches it. He's just too focused on the grind. As jkoper back in Garenham going to get his go mode here. As I believe he has found the Staff of Rain. Evidently, Goldmen are running around with Dragon Lord Breath, although if it really gets down to it, that's not going to be a problem because our runners have hurt more. And jkoper going to go deep into Garenham, going to find the Fighter's Ring eventually. And yeah, you can see it on the bomb race already. Edgeworth in the dedicated grind is just ripping a hole in the experience difference up to over 2,000 points difference now. And while he never checked the treasury, he's going to clear that out now. And not even going to bother to go under Tantagel. So, not going to get the Death Necklace. Although, with the Curve Spell pickup, that might jog his memory into thinking, ooh, hold on a second, I might be able to find something here. As he does take a Dragon Lord Breath attack from the Goldman, but gets away. And it's right back to the grind form.
Yeah, unfortunately for Game Boy, I would say, this does not look like it's going to be a Death Necklace seed, so Edge's decision to skip that is probably not going to end up biting him too badly. I mean, you never know. I've seen 60 hit point gains at levels, but it doesn't seem likely that that's going to end up becoming a factor.
Yeah, it's looking like one more red dragon for Edgeworth. And up on Sparkover's end, she's still kind of looking for her grind, but she's opened up a fairly noticeable experience lead. Although it's going to have to slow down for a bit due to the red dragons. All four of our runners fighting red dragons at the same time. But Edgeworth is the one with the health and the one able to kill these red dragons.
Well, Sparkover in her venture into the swamp cave there was able to hit that same level, and so now these red dragons are really appealing for her as well.
Whoa. Edgeworth just got 22 strength. Look at those stats.
You know, I have seen people take on the Dragon Lord at 89 HP before. If they don't get any more HP gains, this is not out of the question to go dive. They need a few more magic points to make it happen, or to make it realistic, but it's not out of the question to go dive with 89 or 91 hit points.
Unfortunately for them, the agility started out really good, has kind of tapered off now, so... Yeah, Fury pointing out defense is a major concern. I think Sparkover might be the only one with a notable shield, so... I think shopping has just kind of gone to the wayside, and it may bite our runners. I think Caitlin's nearby, so they should be able to find a shop soon with a large shield, as Game Boy pops open Charlock.
It's definitely a good point. Right now, the Dragon Lord can swing and hit Sparkover for 52. And, of course, with, I guess, her and Game Boy being the only two with shields at the moment, it'd be even worse for jkoper and Edge at the moment.
Sparkover, at level 13 with that 79 HP, is actually electing to go back to this overworld grind. Which isn't a bad idea. I guess she's not quite comfortable enough just yet, but level 14, I expect her to go straight back into Oxen. And yeah, Game Boy finding out the red dragons on the first floor, and he's actually gonna go deeper. So we might see the deeper zones of Charlock as... Ooh, the blue dragon as well. Not exactly a Hurtmore victim, but kind of not a threat either with the weak spell spam. And yeah, with one attack, her Edgeworth is just tearing through these red dragons. Although with no MP and low HP, that red dragon tears through him instead.
You'd think since he has the Dragon Lord sprite, they might be a little kinder to him, but...
Maybe those red dragons want to be the Dragon Lord. So yeah, here comes the exploration dive from Game Boy. If he can make it off this floor past all these red dragons. Only on 11 MP though, and encountering another red dragon. So it seems like the top floor of Charlock is at least 40% red dragon, as Game Boy might, more than likely, yeah, he's not dead yet. And, yep, he's dead. Looking like one more red dragon, and we will see level 15 on Edgeworth's side. In the meantime, Sparkover doing a nice job on her overworld grind to almost be at 14. Here comes 16 health. I think that's go time. Edgeworth actually does not agree. I think agility is too much of a concern for him, but suddenly he has 105 health, 100 EMP, and 143 attack power. And he might just be taking a Death Warp to refill his MP and going for it. I believe Sparkover is about to gain level 14 and pick up that massive power.
Now, wondering what Edge is looking for right now. He's already raided the treasury once.
Maybe just realized, oh hey, there's some supplies here, they're pretty good, I'll grab them. As jkoper at 45 minutes is just now getting his rainbow drop. In most seeds, rainbow drop at 45 would be pretty nice. In this seed, yeah, that's just how this has been. jkoper, 45-minute rainbow drop, but you compare that to Edgeworth, 45-minute potential go mode. Depends on how nice Sharlock plays, as Sparkover is now level 14, going to be interesting to see if she keeps to the overworld or heads back into Hawksness.
Interestingly, jkoper has got the exact same grind idea now, so they are basically holding hands, wandering around this desert.
Okay, looking like an herb restock for Sparkover. And here's the second zone of Sharlock on Edgeworth's side. Oh, there's a golem! It gets ran away from, of course, but we have now seen the golem. And golems with baby breath, okay. So,
of course, nothing can be nasty this seed. I will say, just in over time, having watched Edgeworth, run various randomizer seeds, he seems to be at his best in seeds where it is go, go, go. He can finish really fast and things like that. He tends to get more frustrated with seeds with really slow starts, but seeds like this are pretty much his, the perfect style for him, and he's showing what he can do with that.
Well, Sharlock trying its best to equalize through difficult-to-run enemies, both the Armor Knight and the Red Dragon, the two most difficult enemies to run from in the game. On the second zone, Wizard, not so much.
Werewolf's a pretty easy monster to deal with as well. I do find it interesting that Sparkover is opting not to go take on these red dragons now, with this much attack power and hit points. Feels like that would be a faster grind, but as long as jkoper's doing the same thing she is, she's not going to be losing any ground.
Yeah, you can see the defensive concerns for Edgeworth is the werewolf, usually one of the first enemies you actually defense break down here in Sharlock, just swung at him for 23, so... Yeah, going to have to be wary of any and all melee attacks. Although, it does look like the final zone of Sharlock is looking pretty polite at the moment.
Yeah, as mentioned by the Hanker Canuck and several other people in chat for the last little bit, right now, if my calculations are correct, the Dragon Lord, with 61 defense power, the Dragon Lord can melee for up to 55 damage. So this is actually one where you'd almost rather see breath than a physical attack from the Dragon Lord.
So yeah, 50 minutes in, and the Dragon Lord for Edgeworth. And here we go on to Dragon Lord 2, and to begin with, he gets the first strike in, so he will strike for 13.
Yeah, now, if he doesn't have to double heal at all, this is pretty much a completely free fight. Without a miss menu, it's a lock. But with what the Dragon Lord can do, bad heal more or high melee could drain a couple of his heal mores and make things a little bit closer.
Well, he's up to 38 at the moment. Make that 55, and now down to 8 heal more. Make that 73 again, and those high rolls in. There's 11 for, I believe, 84? There's a big one. He might be at 105 now. We'll just go with that. 116. Kind of getting the low end of his rolls. In fact, I think 11's not his minimum, but there's a big 21, the maximum. $15 about average, could do it on the next hit, but he's going to heal more to be safe. Here comes a swing, it's going to deal 20 and do it. So just like that, Edgeworth going to cast return. Zip on back.
Finishing with an SRL time of 52 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, Edgeworth just killing it. First sub-hour of the tournament. In the meantime, Sparkover is almost at 15, and from the way she's walking, she may actually be electing to dive for this final level.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the HP or the attack power they've got, if you get the HP over, over 96 or 97, you're in pretty good shape. Obviously, with the defense power, it's a little you're not perfect shape, but you're in pretty good shape. So you can bank on either getting more attack power and a few more hit points, in which case you can handle a few double hit mores, or a little more HP and you're good to go. And she's gonna find out she's got all the HP she could want.
Yeah, gain very little on that health level except HP, but getting all of the HP. Also, welcome Edgeworth. Let me get that jetpack off your back and tell us how you felt that seed. Edgeworth, you're kind of silent.
Oh, cool. Is this better?
Much.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I was just saying, I felt like this was the most fortunate I've ever had in a run. I could see, there's, a lot of red dragons on the overworld, and I don't know, I just had the craziest luck in running from all of them.
Yeah, and Game Boy's actually went ahead and forfeit. I guess just...
And he's here in chat with us as well. GG, Game Boy.
Yeah, well done, Edgeworth. I cannot imagine that you did not play this seed perfectly. You had to have played that seed perfectly. Well done.
Yeah, I feel like the exploration pretty much went as ideal as it could have, and luck running away from red dragons didn't hurt either.
Yeah, and I did see you went on You did. You dived on 15, or you probably dived on 14 and was able to beat up stuff until 15. How many red dragons were in that opening zone? There must have been 3 or 4 of them. That was crazy.
Yeah, I think one of the people in chat asking how this wasn't sub 50, and the answer was simply red dragons everywhere. I know they had hurt, but with how low the HP was for so long, once they got through that hurt and actually got some chomps on you, it just tore through you until around level 13 and 14.
Yeah, so this is so ironic. So Lord of the Synth rolls a seed at 5 o'clock this morning, or this afternoon. It gets re-rolled. It has to be re-rolled for whatever reason. Maybe it was a swamp. I don't know exactly what it was. And then Janice rolls, and it's the 4th longest seed in tournament history. Now, Lord of the Synth rolls a seed, and it's the 3rd fastest seed in tournament history. So Lord of the Synth has gotten his roll card back. And that was a weird seed, though. Like, every single monster I ran into was worth, like, 20 points or 15 points. Like, it was really tough to find a wyvern or a star or, something that was worth decent points.
Yeah, it was just, again, in the early game, I had the most amazing luck. I hit a metal slime and then ran into armored knights that just fire breathed you, so somehow I managed to survive.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah,
That's the way it goes sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes the super early Hurtmore can kind of take the sting out of the early metal slime, because you can run around and if you find Axe Knights, that's half a metal slime. But yeah, Edgeworth got that early experience lead and then just was able to find everything so fast. I don't even think Edgeworth found the grave, which turned out to be a complete dud in this seed.
Yeah, I ended up digging out the grave. I was able to skip the mountain cave completely, though.
Yeah, I went down the mountain cave just to see if there was a fighter's ring down there, and then I got fun policed, and that was it for that.
Okay, in the meantime, Sparkover's made it to the bottom floor, which Game Boy didn't actually see down that far. As you can see, he got sniped on the top floor and threw it in, but Sparkover on the bottom floor, but with only 9 heal more remaining.
Only 9 heal mores on 145. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that is true. That's Fighter's Ring for Sparkover is really going to help her math. She has 11 to 22 damage compared to Edgeworth's 10 to 21, so she'll have that little extra bit of oomph. In the meantime, jkoper trying to make a race of it. He's almost level 15, and he is on the way down.
See, blue dragons were. I want to kind of say blue dragons were the monster of the day, though, because they cast hurt more often, even though they cast heal.
Yeah, that was something that I think brought up in chat as well. Someone asking, could they, in theory, go down to the Dragon Lord and check that spike tile? As it turned out, it would have. If you could have got down there with decent resources, it could have been a play, but Fun Police all over the first 2 floors probably would have shut that down in short order.
Alright, well, I'm going to head on out. Congratulations again, Edge. Good game, and good luck in round 3.
Alright, thanks Game Boy, GG, and I'll hop out too, just thanks to you guys for doing the commentary and Lord of the Synth for the restream.
Ditto.
Yeah, as we get right into Sparkover's fight, starting with a 16. And a 12 to make it 28, so bit below average at the moment. Going to have to hit a bit higher to get this big. 14. There we go, there's an 18. I kind of lost track of the count, but I'm just going to go by... just going to kind of wing it here. 13, a little bit below. There's a max damage hit. I think Sparkover's actually rolled more on kind of the weaker end. Her average, I believe, is around 16 to 17, so these 14s are going to make this iffy, and there's a low heal more 52. This is a little bit of a risk. Low damage attack getting hit for 49. This could get ugly in a hurry. That was the final heal more. 88 health. Another low roll. The attack hits for 48. Sparkover's down. jkoper is looking incredibly unlikely to finish it here. And yeah, unfortunately, Sparkover not making it with full resources has actually had to technically save a little bit of time, but is going to have to regain level 15. The good news here for Sparkover, jkoper's down there, but he is down to 8 heal more, so unless he get and no fighter's ring, so unless he high rolls like crazy, Sparkover's gonna have the time to get back down and get this taken care of.
Yeah, I don't really see a way in which jkoper has, you know, a shot even with really good rolls, so maybe in his best interest just die or get out of here as quickly as possible. But I guess you got hurt more strats, so you always have a 1 in 16 chance of winning, right?
I mean, if he gets the absolute god rolls, he kills the Dragon Lord like 8 hits, so who knows, this could... He might... Let's see his herb count. 5 herbs, he could be able to scum for a double attack to start. Neither Edge nor Sparkover managed to get the double attack to start. Looking decent here with 105 health to begin, and gets the first strike, so... And gets a 20, so... jkoper getting a low roll there, but jkoper may have a chance here. He's at 32. 15's about average. That's going to put him up to 47. Yeah, 60 off the low roll. The rolls not going where they need to be. Needs them to be much higher. 14, about average. Yeah, starting to look very doubtful unless he can pull out a sneaky hurt more.
I think in about 2 swings, he should be in complete hurt more range, so he could throw out more than 1 to try to land. I think he's probably safe after this hit right here to throw it.
Let's see what he does. Is he going to swing or is he going to hurt more? He's swinging at the moment, going to hit 13, so he'll have enough for 1 heal more, 1 hurt more, and 1 sleep. And instead he's just swinging through, so... And got a minimum roll. Risking on... Well, he got it!
Wow, he got it! Well, I guess I was wrong when I said he didn't have a chance. Wow. Well, GG to jkoper for that incredibly clutch Dragon Lord kill.
Yeah, he certainly clutched that one. The starting double making the difference. And there you go, just out of nowhere, jkoper is going to finish with a time of 105.10. I'm sorry I kind of lost count, but yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough day, but just out of nowhere, jkoper sneaks in and is going to take the victory. Dragon Lord 2 actually rolling low health, so maybe Edgeworth just kind of got to 151, 152 and had to swing again, but Sparkover should have it on this dive. Unfortunately, going to be too little too late. Getting down with all the resources. Although maybe not Herbs, as she did not heal up. I'm hedging jkoper is going to be so surprised when he gets in here and just kind of hears how far along the others were. Because jkoper was the last to the armor by a significant margin. And I think got the rainbow drop right as Edgeworth was starting his winning dive. The Bright Green I'm not even gonna say it. He forfeit after dying to a red dragon on the first floor after Edgeworth had already finished.
And it looks like we have jkoper in chat here. GG, jkoper.
Hey, thanks. Looks like I missed the first round already, huh?
Yeah, they ran off pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, it's all good.
Yeah, speaking of how quickly they ran off, you were definitely behind for the most of the race. I think you were the last to find the armor by a significant amount. And just due to how the map was in the early hurt more in the monster set, by the time you had found the rainbow drop, you weren't that far behind. And you weren't that far behind Sparkover in experience, but Edgeworth was already on his winning dive as Sparkover manages to kill the Dragon Lord. And I think she's actually going to search the Spike Tile and Hawksness. I don't think anybody actually searched it, but because by the time you could kill that red dragon, you were pretty much in go mode. And it turns out to be nothing, so Flute was on the coordinates the whole time. But yeah, the thing it came down to, you were at the top of Charlotte gaining level 15 while Sparkover was fighting the Dragon Lord. Sparkover died, and then you came through with what must have just been an amazing Dragon Lord fight, because it was just all of a sudden, it was dead, you were the win.
I don't know. Maybe I got a little lucky. It felt like it was going to be close, but I don't know how much damage I did or anything. Um. So, what was Did she die? Is that what you're saying to the Dragon Lord?
Yeah, she died because, well, she got down there with 9 heal mores compared to your 8, but you're able to start with a double, so it was kind of even in that regard. But kind of at the end of the fight, she started running into heal more trouble. I think her final heal more only took her to 88, and I believe she may have only gotten maybe one swing at the end.
Sounds like I got lucky, I guess.
Yeah, Angel FM saying she got the 149, and that was on the turn that she got the 88 from a heal more, low rolling it, and then only got one more swing before Dragon Lord with our low defensive power just clawed her twice for the death. I think what we can blame this on is that somehow we didn't see a single Sparkover bridge. So clearly she did not have that power, so you're able to get it done.
And we do have Sparkover in chat with us, so GG Sparkover.
Hey, GG Sparkover.
Sparkover, you muted.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good job.
Hey.
I had a very terrible first descent and fight, and then the second one was free, so, you know. Hey, what was my agility, by the way? Because I still believe it means absolutely nothing. I know it was low, but I don't know how to judge it.
66.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about right. I knew it was low, but I don't really know how to judge things very well when I don't have a silver shield. Because it's just really my defense that I use to judge it, but... Yeah, really bad fight on the first one.
Yeah, I think what it came down to was actually heal more RNG at the end. Your final heal more only got you to 88, and that let the Dragon Lord finish you off in 2 hits.
Yeah. Do you know how much health it had?
153, and Angel FM saying it was 149, so
yeah.
Not only the finishing only getting one attack at the end when you usually expect 2, but the rolls, I think on almost everyone the rolls were kind of low, but
yeah, any one little thing that could have gone right would have, you know, had me win the first one, but sometimes the Dragon Lord is rude.
Indeed. So something I do want to ask you, Sparkover, kind of at the end, right at level 14, where you got that gigantic power spike, I believe you decided to keep up with the overworld grind instead of going back to Red Dragons. Why'd you go for that?
Whenever I tried a Red Dragon, it went terribly. So I just sort of avoided that. I didn't really have much game plan past that, other than Red Dragons were terrible all the time.
Yeah, they are called the Fun Police for a reason.
I wonder if everyone grinded in the same spot in the desert there.
Kind of south of Tantagel, close to Garnham?
Right.
That was a good little spot.
A ton of Mad Wyverns and Star Wyverns.
Yeah, the two of you were dancing there for a little while.
Many high fives were had, I'm sure.
Yeah. So,
I think it was less high five and more tango, but I think Edgeworth did that until about 13, and then with that health spike, he went to Red Dragons and just did that till level 15, and that's when he went and won everything.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to Red Dragons when I got to 14 for sure. And then I was like, I've got enough strength here, and a good amount of MP, and all I really need is HP, so I'm just going to fight on the way down. So that's what I did. I got level 15 on the way down, and I used like 3 or 4 Healmores. I got a ton of red dragons on the first like 3 or 4 floors, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think that's something we noted early on when people went fishing in top floor Sharlock, that there were a lot of red dragons up there, and then it turns out there were a lot of armor knights and red dragons on the middle floor, which they had stuff to kind of dull their offense, but still they're like upper 80s to 90 agility for run blocking you, so that just made it difficult to get the dive done.
Hey, Ace, I was looking for a fighter's ring in the treasury. There was only like 3 chests left in the game, though, or 4 chests, maybe 3 chests.
I thought I got the fighter's ring, but I don't quite remember where.
The fighter's ring was, I think, actually in its it was in Mountain Cave in the final chest. I forget.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I died to a red dragon when I was on my way to the final chest. So I skipped the last chest in Mountain Cave, the last 2 chests in the grave, and then the sword chest. I knew it was going to be close. So when I fought the Dragon Lord, I had what was it, 9 or 8 Healmores? What did you guys say?
You had 8, but you were able to get the starting double when everybody else couldn't.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. It worked out fairly well. And then I got on the before my first Healmore, I got a 20 and then 14 or something. So I was feeling pretty good at the start. And then I finished with like 43 HP or something, and 7 MP left. So
yeah, I think we spent a lot of time kind of wondering if you're maybe going to pull out a Hurtmore or something, and then it just turns out you're able to kill off the Dragon Lord conventionally.
I tried to use a Hurtmore, but it just didn't work. So then I just had to go back to attacking like a regular Dragon Lord fighter.
Yeah, I think both me and Tilo kind of got worn out a little bit by just how crazy the start was. Like I said earlier, at the waiting screen, the tracker had just shown the stats, just showing 5 strength. And I was talking about how y'all could only fight the slimes. And right as I mentioned how you're going to have trouble with Drakeys, it switched over to the spells. And from there, it just never stopped for about 20 or 25 minutes.
Yeah, I can't imagine watching a 4-way Hurtmore seed. That's got to be pretty busy.
Yeah, especially a 4-way Hurtmore seed when everybody's finding stuff so fast.
I feel like my start was a bit unlucky because my first enemy I killed was a Spectre, and then I don't know, I was killing some lesser things for a little bit, but there were so many, wyvern types around the castle, and I didn't see any for a little while. Not that it made a huge difference, but I just feel like the experience was slow at the start because of that.
You were actually pretty close in experience until Sparkover got into grind and go mode. It was exploration that not going north to coal early seemed to bite you more than the experience grinded.
Yeah, I think that's something that we noted. There were so many Hurtmore victims wandering about that just in the exploration you got a bunch of experience, so that kind of helped keep it close when Sparkover started searching for a grind spot.
I'm seeing someone say that everything was found within 10 minutes. Did people really get to Brimbledar within 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think Sparkover got there super early.
Oh.
I think Edgeworth had actually popped open Sharlock, and I don't know if he popped open Sharlock or had just gotten the rainbow drop, but he had gotten all of his stuff done in like 26 minutes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think I even got to Brimbledar until about 30 minutes in.
Yeah, we had seen every town before the 9-minute mark.
Wow. That was a big hike to Brimbledar. So... anyway, I guess I just went the wrong ways. But, GG Sparkover.
Yeah, nice job. I mean, if we were just one Dragon Lord fight away, then that's pretty close anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure Game Boy would have been right there with us.
Oh, probably.
But, yeah, we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, we will. I can, keep writing my newsletter about how agility means nothing, and I can use this as a prime example. I can just compare my 2 Sherlock walks and be like, yep, here you go.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys, for the restream commentary, tracking, and whatnot.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you to both for providing us an excellent race, and GG.
Actually, one more thing to add here. What was with that lazy old harp guy that just wouldn't go over to his neighbor? We're right beside each other.
Hey, there's red dragons all about.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I think someone asked that as well. Or maybe it was just Thilotilo. That was going on during the crazy part, so it's all just a blur. And I believe with that, we are going to close it out here, but we're not done with the races yet today. We've had both ends of the crazy, and we still have 2 more races left. In fact, on Randomania 2, just about to start, is going to be Braxis Muse versus Up to UNG. And then on RPG Limit Break at 11 p.m. Eastern will be BASP 33 and the Alan Heffley going at it. So 2 more races to go. This is Smashy. My commentating partner was Thilotilo. And let me go ahead and give a shout out to the restreamer Lore of the Synth and the tracker not Up to NG. It was actually Z-Man. But yeah, if you want some more racing, Randomania 2 will be the place to be. So, good night, everybody.